You're welcome to Masking Point. We shall be treating significant figures. Let's dive in. Now, the fourth rule says that any zero after a non-zero digits in a number without a decimal point is not what significant. That any zero after a non-zero digit in a number without a decimal point is not what significant. That is, what do we mean by that? If you have a situation like 6000, what is trying to tell you that this 000, this 000 is not significant. That means we have what? One significant figure here. If you have 10,000, it also means that these 4 zeros you have here is not significant. So we have one significant figure here. Take note of that. Then the next one, which is similar to the rule 4, is that any zero after a non-zero digits in a number with a decimal point is significant. Now note the difference. This is without, the rule 4 is without a decimal point, while the rule 5 is with a decimal point. So take note of that. Example, we have figures like 5.0000. In this case, it says a zero after a non-zero in a number with a decimal point is what? Significant. In this case, what do we have? We have what? 5 significant what? Figures. Another example, 0.0310. In this case, we have what? 3 significant what? Figures, because this 0 is after non-zero. So this is the first significant. The first 3 is the first word significant, the 1 is the second, and the 0 is the word third. Sometimes these zeros, they are called words trailing zeros. Okay, so that is the rule number 5. Now let's take the last rule. Whenever you have leading, okay, or we can say beginning zeros, okay, in a number, such zeros are not significant. What do I mean by that? That is, if you have 0.00362, in this case, these zeros you have here, this 0.00 is not what? Significant. That's why it says leading or beginning zeros in a number. Whenever you have a leading or beginning zeros in a number, such zeros are not what? Significant. So in this case, we have what? 3 significant what? Figures. Now let's take some practical scenarios. We have the first one. You're asked to round up 581 to 2 significant figures. Solution: 581 will be equal to what? They said to 2 significant figures. The first significant figure is 5. The second is what? 8. Now the number after the second significant figure is 1, which is not up to what? 5. So what do? We round it what? Down. We round it down to what? 0. So our answer will now be what? 580. Remember, not 58. It will be what? 580, because the initial value is 581. Now we have rounded the 1 towards 0. So it will now be 580 as our final answer. Remember to always write to two significant word figures. Now let's take the next question. It says 7590 to two significant figures. Solution: 7590 will now be what? Let's say to two significant figures. So the first is what? 7. The second is what? 5. Now the number after 5 is what? 9. Because the 9 is greater than 5, what do? We round up. Okay, remember in the number 1 example we rounded down. Now in this case we are rounding up. So when you round up, you now add 1 to this 5. Your answer will now be what? 7600 towards two significant figures. Now remember, the initial figure is what? 7590. So when you're rounding it up, it will now be what? 7600 and not 76. Take note of that. The third one, the third example, the more examples you solve, you will get the big picture. We have 6, 5, 8, 6, 9 to two significant figures. Solution: 6, 5, 8, 6, 9 will now be equal to what? The first is what? 6. The second is what? 5. The third is what? 8. Now because this 8 is greater than what? 5, what do? We round up. So when you now round up, what do you have? 1 here. At the end of the day, you will now have what? 66000 to two what? Significant figures. Now remember, the initial value is 65,869. They said to two significant figures, it will now be what? 66,000. Now let's take the last example for the two significant figures so that you get the big picture. Okay, now let's just take one simple example: 0.86439 towards two significant figures. Now solution: 0.86439 will now be equal to what? The answer is going to be equal to what? 0.86 to two significant figures. Now you were expecting me to write 0.86000. No, this is not applicable. Remember one of the rules: this 0 is called a leading 0, okay, or a beginning 0. So it is not what? Significant. So the first significant figure is what? 8, and the second is what? 6. Now the number immediately after 6 is what? 4. Now this 4 is not up to 5. What do? We round it down. Now because of this decimal point that is here, the zeros after the 6 will no longer be what? Applicable. So our final answer is what? 0.86. Okay, so now let's take for number 5 for three significant figures. Now you are asked to round off 0.08993 to three significant what? Figures. Solution: 0.08993 0.08993 will now be equal to what? 0.0899 toward 3 significant what figures. Now let me explain. Now these zeros are called leading zeros or beginning zeros, so they are not what? Significant. So the first one here is what? 8, the second is what? 9, and the third significant figure is what? 9. Now the number immediately after this 9 is what? 3, because the 3 is not up to 5. What do? We round it down to what? 0. Now our answer will now be 0.0899. Now we cannot add the 0 because there is what? A decimal point. Okay, so let's go to the next one. They said 54241 towards 3 significant figures. Now solution 54241 is going to be equal to what? 54200 toward 3 significant figures. That is our answer. Okay, now we have 54,241. The first significant figure is 5, the second is what? 4, the third is what? 2. Now the number after the 2 is what? 4. Because this 4 is not up to 5, we round it down to what? 0. So our final answer will be what? 54,200. Now we are adding the 00 because there is no decimal point in the initial what? Figure. And we also maintained it the way it was, which is 54,241 is now 54,200. Now let's take the next question. You're asked to round off 7895 to 3 significant what? Figures. Solution 7895 will now be equal to what? Now we have 7 as the first significant, we have 8 as the second, we have 7 as the first, 8 as the second, 9 as the third. Now the number after the 9 is what? 5. Now because this is equal to 5, what do? We have to round it what? Up. We'll round this 9 and thereby making it what? 10. So you have 10. So with this, we now have 7900 toward 3 significant what? Figures. It's very simple. Now we have 7,895. Don't forget the initial value. 7,895. Now the first significant is 7, the second is 8, the third is what? 9. But the number after the 9 is what? 5. Now because this 5 is equal to 5, what do? We have to round it up. So by rounding it up, this 9 now becomes what? 10. So in essence, 789 now becomes what? 790. Now there is no decimal point, so we maintain what? The 0. Now we now have 7,900. From 7,895, we now have 7,900. So let's take the last example. We have 2.069 toward 3 significant what? Figures. Solution, we have 2.069 now to 3 significant figures. Now the first is what? 2. The second is what? 0. The third is what? 6. But the number after the 6 is what? 9. Remember one of the rules. Because this 0 is in between 2 non-zero, which is 2 and 6, it now makes this 0 to be what? Significant. This simply means 2 is the first significant figure, 0 is the second, and 6 is the third significant figure. Now because we have 9 here, we'll round it up, thereby making the 6, the final answer to be what? 2.07 to 3 significant what? Figures. Please, if you like this video, kindly subscribe to this channel for more of this. Thank you.